Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, coming to you live from Lagos. Reminder of our top stories. Federal government asks court to revoke bail granted leader of the indigenous people of Biafra and order his detention pending the trial of the IPOB leader. President Buhari reaffirms faith in Nigeria's democracy and unity as he meets with leaders of the ruling APC and main opposition PDP, as well as state governors in Abuja. Former President Obasnjo distances himself from the call for restructuring of Nigeria, asks Nigerians to focus on building a nation. And at least 23 people killed in violent protests over the rape conviction of a popular religious leader in the north of India. A quick reminder to you that for more on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com and youtube.com/channelsweb. And log on to m.channelstv.com to watch us on your mobile device, or download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows devices from their respective stores. The Channels TV and Channels 24 app will give you access to news and updates. You also have access to the Eyewitness feature, with which you can share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the menu, and then follow the instructions. After being quiet for some time on the issue of restructuring, Nigeria's former President Chief Olusegun Obasnjo today opened up exclusively to Channels Television on the matter. The former president says he will not be a part of the ongoing debate because he believes what Nigeria needs is to restructure their minds on how to build the nation. Chief Obasnjo, while speaking to our South Africa Bureau Chief Betty Dibia on the sidelines of the just concluded African Leadership Forum in Johannesburg, says there are divergent issues on how to go about restructuring, whereas the focus should be on how to include everyone in the nation that's already well endowed.
I have asked 6 different people who talk about restructuring, and the 6 of them gave me different point of view. And the other day, some people even came to me, and what they were talking about doesn't make sense. Now, so what are we talking about? We have a country that God has endowed. Now, the management of that endowment is what we all have to put our hands, all hands on deck, and put out how do we deal with it. And then some of them are nostalgic about pre-independence, that's their restructuring. Some of them are nostalgic about immediate post-independence, that's their restructuring. Some of them are nostalgic about their tribe, that's their restructuring. I cannot be part of that. My own restructuring is what I have said. We have to restructure our mentality. We have to restructure our mind. We have to restructure our understanding of Nigeria. What country do we want? And if we decide on what country we want, how do we get that country? All hands on deck. How do we get inclusiveness? How do we get every Nigerian feeling a sense of having a stake in the country?
Nigeria's former President Chief Olusegun Obasnjo. And restructuring also dominated discussions at a conference on the Nigerian economy held in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, today. Former Vice President of the World Bank and co-convener of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, and other participants are calling for the practice of true federalism and proper democratic structure. They believe that lack of public accountability and financial recklessness are factors impeding Nigeria's economic recovery plan. Our correspondent Emmanuel Ere reports.
Is the first economic summit of the Nigeria Christian Graduate Fellowship holding in Port Harcourt, the River State capital. And various speakers, including a former Minister of Education, Obi Ezekwesili, are here to analyze the issues of economic growth versus development, public accountability, and the ongoing conversation on restructuring.
I know as Christians, we must be against corruption. That is the truth.
A member of the House of Representatives puts forward the issue of land resource control.
I cannot understand a law which gives the mineral resources control completely to the federal government and leaves out the state. These laws should be changed, and we in Nigeria should not allow this injustice to continue.
The former minister steps up the podium and points out that the National Assembly should set an example.
In order for you to drive development, you must have the moral credentials. You can't say to people whose welfare have not improved, be sacrificing, just be sacrificing. And yet, they see that in recent times again, while you're asking them to sacrifice, you just got your new 6 billion naira cars. It just doesn't work. Poor use of resources, whether it is by the executive or the legislature or even the judiciary, voices that understand that the Lord cares about his people.
Then outside, the convener of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign leaves a word on the matter of the remaining girls in captivity.
There are 106 girls that are back. We have 119 that are not back. And that means we've got 119 reasons to never stop demanding that government must give justice to the weak and vulnerable in our society. Resolutions at this conference are expected to add to the pool of national discourse for the development of the country. Emmanuel Irei, Channels Television News.
Let's cross over to Abuja now. Here's Linda Akigwe. Linda.
Hello, Ijoma. 106 new officers have graduated from the direct short service course for the Nigeria Air Force. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olunisaki, who was present at the passing out parade at the Nigerian Air Force Base, Kaduna, challenged the new military officers to be courageous and committed to the defense of Nigeria at all times.
The journey of these erstwhile civilian professionals into the military, which began 6 months ago, is coming at a time Nigeria is facing numerous security challenges. Having undertaken intensive training to become full military officers, the Air Force authorities say they're good to go. The arrival of the Chief of Defense Staff, who also doubles as the reviewing officer for the passing out parade, kickstarts the colorful ceremony. Addressing the officers, General Gabriel Olunisaki reminded them that their commissioning into the military comes with much expectations, especially now that the government is battling to rid the country of terrorists and other criminal elements.
The expectations and demand associated with service transcend those of regular job. It is imperative to state here that your decision to choose the military profession must be one born from the desire to make sacrifices because of your love for our country.
Speaking to reporters at the event, the Chief of Air Staff explains that the injection of young officers into the service is to have a professional and efficient force that can respond to any emergencies.
Our desire is to have a professional Air Force. And you can only have that if you build the required capacity. You can only be effective if you have the right capacity. And that is what we are targeting. So we believe that this will go a long way in making the Air Force more effective. These are specialists in various areas, and I'm sure they are going to add value to what we are doing in the service.
The induction of the young men and women into the military is a precursor to joining their colleagues in the field, where they're expected to protect their fatherland from both internal and external aggression.
Nigerians, especially residents of Kogi State in north-central Nigeria, have been expressing concern about a disease purported to have claimed 62 lives in 3 communities of Yagba West local government area of the state. But information provided by the state health authorities suggests that the number of casualties is 19 and they were caused by isolated cases. Our correspondent Miri Alale Yusuf was in the state to assess the situation and now reports.
In Okoloke, in Yagba West local government area, that has led to the death of about 62 people.
That was the announcement from the Kogi State Commissioner for Health, which sent shivers down the spines of Nigerians, Kogi residents in particular. a Channels television crew on arrival in Lokoja set out on the approximately 5-hour journey to get some answers from the affected communities. Okuron is one of the settlements among 3, collectively called Akumaru, where it is rumored that the illness has claimed victims. But the paramount leader there greets us with a shocker.
The leaders of Fulani people came to me complaining that they are dying. They are dying. I said, what is causing it? He says it's mysterious.
This man is visiting some members of his family, supposedly suffering from this disease at the village health center.
He had severe headache followed by body pains.
Even as the nurse takes his daughter's vitals, more sick ones are brought in. One of the indigenes of Isanloesa, the 3rd member of Akumaru, believes they have been struck by the divine. But the solution lies with state health authorities equipping their clinics.
What we expected is for the government to provide drugs, and that hasn't been done.
A short walk through the bushes brings us to a site where indigents say recent victims of the strange ailment are buried. We head back to Lokoja, the state capital, seeking answers at the Ministry of Health. The commissioner and his team seem to have a more detailed and slightly different report after visiting the settlements in question.
The state epidemiologists constituted 3 different teams, and they went from household to household, from family to family, tracing every case of death to the graveyard, to ascertain the actual number of deaths. The deaths that were recorded, you understand, were isolated cases from random pathologies. Even within the same family, no case is similar to the other. 19 deaths were counted.
In the first place, we didn't even come across any active case during the 48 hours that we spent in that community. I would not say that there was a case of an ongoing epidemic in that community.
There may be a dispute about the nature of the disease, and there certainly is one about the number of casualties it has caused. But the Kogi state government says it will not happen again, as it has set up pointsmen to pick up any strange health incident. It has also taken samples of food and water from the 3 communities involved for further investigation. From Lokoja, the Kogi state capital in north-central Nigeria, Mary Alale Yusuf reporting for Channels Television News.
When the news at 10 returns, National Insurance Commission partners Nigerian Stock Exchange on ways to increase participation in the insurance industry. Please join us again.